And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Tuesday, February 8th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. I think this morning is almost a carbon copy of yesterday. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day, but it's kind of cold out there. We are on the air this morning, as we are each Tuesday morning at this time, for Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. And my guest today is going to be a representative from the city of Mount Juliet. But first, we want to talk about the hospital. Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital has been serving Wilson County for more than 2 years and continues to grow to meet the needs of the residents in Lebanon, Mount Juliet, and surrounding communities. Since becoming part of the Vanderbilt University Medical Center family, Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital now has additional services, new equipment, infrastructure, and technology to extend Vanderbilt's level of care into Wilson County. Advancements in care and a greater focus on patient experience bring an elevated level of care to Wilson County. The Vanderbilt Center for Women's Health, which opened last year in Lebanon, brings high-quality, convenient care to the community. The center provides general gynecology services such as pap smears, well-woman visits, and breast exams, and is equipped to meet the needs of advanced gynecologic patients. Expecting mothers can receive prenatal and pregnancy care, including parenting education and high-risk maternal care, with deliveries and surgeries performed locally at Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. The Vanderbilt Center for Women's Health Lebanon is the second outpatient clinic location in Wilson County, joining Vanderbilt Center for Women's Health Mount Juliet Clinic, which opened in February 2019. Well, I am going to go to the telephone right here and see if Justin Beasley is with us here. Justin, are you there?
Good morning. How's it going, Coleman?
I am doing fine, and you are on your way in. But
hold up.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what do. Let's just hang up right here, and you come on in. And while you're in here, I'm going to talk about something else, a community event that's coming up. So I'm going to turn you off. You go ahead and hang up right now, and we'll be in the building in just a minute. While I remind everybody that the Lebanon High School softball team is and Coach Jody Atwood and all that are involved here having a chili supper and silent auction. And this is going to be this Saturday, February 12th from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Tickets are $5, and the ticket includes chili, drink, dessert, and a bid number. $1 tickets, a chance to win a set of 4 new Bridgestone tires. All of this coming up this Saturday, February 12th, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., and this will be in the cafeteria and commons there at the high school. And you can support Coach Jody Atwood and the Lebanon High girls softball team by taking advantage of this. All right,
They needed to go before I did.
Justin Beasley, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are we doing?
Oh, doing fine. How about you?
It's good. There's some frost out there this morning. Sorry I had to sick Jamie and Joey on you 2 weeks ago. I know they did great, though. I'm poking fun at them. I love those guys.
Let me tell you, not only did they talk a little bit about you on the air, but you should have heard what they said off the air.
Man, trust me, they tell me in my face every day, so I can only imagine where we're going with that.
Well, you're considerably younger than they are, and they've been around a while. And
you said that, I didn't.
You're the new kid on the block, and they're having a little fun out of you.
Yeah, but that's the way to do. I mean, city government and really anybody's job can be tough. So if you can have some fun in between the serious moments and serious hours that already come, it makes your job a little easier.
What did they say when you're out eating with Kenny Martin and he picks up the tab and you don't even do the tip?
Man, they told you everything, didn't they? Hey, I offer the tip, and I usually get rejected, so I'm doing what I can. I'm doing what I can. They probably told you everything if they went that far.
For those of you who have, Justin's been with us 2 or 3 times since he became part of the team at the City of Mount Juliet. But you're we call him the PIO, the Public Information Officer. And for you, that's a pretty good job, having had a career in television. In fact, you used to do some sports on Channel 4, didn't you?
Yes, sir. And it was a dream job at that moment, and certainly something that I was proud of, to become a sports anchor in Nashville. The local news scene is changing a little bit, but a lot of people, if they can do a good job at news, they transfer to a PIO job, whether it be for a city or a nonprofit or TDOT or the state, you name it. So it's I didn't see myself actually doing this, but man, I'm glad I did. I've been here a little more than 5 months in the great city of Mount Juliet, and I don't say it casually. There's no regret. I have been blessed, and I can see a long future there in the city.
Well, I know we talked about you a little bit in depth the first time you were on, but are you married? I can't remember.
I am married of 5 years. Yes, sir.
All right. You have any children?
I do not, but I will in May.
Oh.
My wife is due with our first child. His name is going to be Brady Wayne Beasley, and my wife's a little almost 6 months pregnant, I guess.
Oh, okay.
And our anniversary is May 21st, so we'll be married 6 years then. But I imagine our hands will be wrapped around, Lord willing, baby Brady. So we're excited. We've actually been painting his nursery and all that, and we tried to do some wallpaper on the ceiling.
Oh.
And wallpaper is hard enough to put on the wall.
Yeah.
So wallpaper on the ceiling, we put one strip down, couldn't get the second, so we're going to hire professional help, and it'll save the marriage by not making us do that on the ceiling, just to be honest.
Well, what's the biggest thing going on in Mount Juliet right now? You had a meeting, you call that the Board of Commissioners rather than the City Council, same thing, but a different name, and they met last night.
We didn't.
They didn't meet.
We didn't actually.
Night.
So
you would have if okay.
I'm as confused as you are around that, just because I'm so new to the city government. We had 5 Mondays in January.
Yeah.
We meet the second and fourth Monday of each month. So we're just in the first Monday of this month.
Okay, all right. Now, yeah, I'm with you because that happens occasionally here.
That's fine. But here's the thing:
their schedule and my schedule don't coincide. So,
and Kenny Martin was getting on to me. He said, "Make sure remember to do Coleman in the morning, just because we don't have a board meeting." But hey, I don't know about you. I'm a creature of habit. But if I didn't have a reminder on my phone that told me to come see you, I would likely forget. It's that bad.
So yeah. Well, we're just not in sync this month, and that's the way it is. But you're here today, and you'll be here in 2 weeks, and
Yes,
we'll
sir.
talk about whatever's going on. But what is the big news, or is there any?
So I'm giving a speech today at the Sermona Club in Nashville at the Maxwell House Hotel, and
wow.
I've come up with a big list of financial numbers. There's a lot of commercial development, I would say, what is the word I'm looking for? Realtors at this place, and they want to know why Mount Juliet has grown to the ability that we have. Obviously, you've heard Kenny say ad nauseum how our property tax rate is just 11 cents. So that's just $1 million of the $60 million budget. So we rely a lot on our sales tax. Well, get this December, we're projected to bring in more than $2 million of sales tax. You're like, oh, okay, compared to what? Well, back in 2004, we brought in less than $2 million for the entire year.
Oh, really?
So that just shows you in 17 years, we have altogether have 10 times more the amount of sales tax, which we're dependent on. Of course, we talked, I think, about a month ago about bringing BJ's. They're hoping to come to Mount Juliet in January of 2023. That's, they're in the works of getting that building up in Mount Juliet. So that is like the lifeblood of Mount Juliet because our property tax isn't that high. Now, do I know if it's going to stay that way forever? I don't know, but right now it's a great, affordable place to live, especially in an expensive world today.
Well, you probably don't know much about this yet, but I'm going to ask it, and if you don't know, you can find out. But I am wondering, we talk about with the state a rainy day fund or money that is set aside for emergency times and that sort of thing. And the rainy day fund is good enough to call. We have a pretty good one. We have a real good one in the city of Lebanon.
Yeah.
I think we're doing okay in the county. I know we've got a good one in the state, and we add to it in the state every year. Do you know anything about your rainy day fund at Mount Juliet?
I would say we're adding to it, but it's probably not as large as we'd like it to be just because of the simple fact we've been a city for only 50 years, and we haven't had a property tax really for all that long. So that's where that money would kind of add up and build up. But, we're kind of really young as a city in a good spot right now, a little under 40,000 people. So I would say we're adding to that, especially expenses where we're saving throughout the years and using money that was allocated in the budget that wasn't used. But that's something that we're looking at for sure.
Well, you're still growing, and you're growing business-wise. You're growing people-wise. The population is gradually increasing. We're still building schools in that area.
Absolutely.
Still adding to the enrollment continues to grow, I think, all over the county. But in your area, it's growing probably proportionately with most of the rest of the county.
It is. It's a 92% jump by my numbers. I mean, we had 24,000 people. It was 2010, and now we have a little under 40, maybe at 40. That's a pretty big jump. I think that the stat in Nashville was a person moves there every 90 minutes. Well, a person moves to Mount Juliet every 6 hours. That's 4 a day over a year.
Yeah.
That adds up. So every 6 hours that you host this radio show, you congratulate somebody that moved to Mount Juliet, and probably just as many people moving to Lebanon at the same time.
Well, I'll tell you what, not hardly as many apparently, because in the last census, Mount Juliet got ahead of Lebanon in population.
I've heard.
You're about 40, Lebanon's 38, in that maybe 39 and a half to 38 something. So you got maybe 1,500, 1,700 more people in Mount Juliet than we have.
Yeah, but
Something
a high
like
tide
that.
raises all ships. We're a partnership, and we root for your successes. Much y'all root for ours. That's a good thing to have.
Hey, it's actually we're maybe a minute past time for a break, so let's do that right here. Justin Beasley with the City of Mount Juliet, my guest, and our program is presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital here on Coleman and Company FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota, Land Pride, quality tractor implements including cutters, finish mowers, box blades, tillers, and more. 5-year gearbox warranty. Extremely durable and well-built. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Trying to finish this crash out here on 24 westbound in Harding Place. It's way over to the side. People insist on looking at it. Starting to pick up on that traffic now on I-40 coming in from Hickman County, Dixon County, up through Kingston Springs. Watch your speed. Warmer weather is waiting for you right now at Pensacola Beach. Book your next getaway. It's easy. Log on to PensacolaBeach.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing.
At Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, world-class care is a heartbeat away. In fact, we offer the same world-class attention Middle Tennessee has come to rely on from a Vanderbilt Health hospital. Supported by over 200 specialties, an expanded emergency department staffed with Vanderbilt Health physicians 24/7, and greater investments in life-saving technologies and care. It's just one more way we're making healthcare personal.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. Again, our program presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, and Justin Beasley's with us from the city of Mount Juliet. So you're going to be speaking at the Maxwell House today. That's a pretty nice hotel in Nashville.
It is, and we love to brag about the city of Mount Juliet, especially in Nashville. I'm curious to see how many of people in Nashville actually travel out east and visit Mount Juliet, maybe for family or to see grandkids or whatever. But I'm sure I have some facts that they might not know about the city of Mount Juliet and what separates us from the pack. So I'm excited to share with them. If you will, don't share what I said off the air about Jamie and Joey, because it would hurt their heart, you know. So we'll just keep that off the air. I know they might be listening too, so I hope they get a crack at that.
I'll never tell. Well, what are some other, maybe some interesting things that even our audience would like to know that you've come up with concerning the success and where we are in the city of Mount Juliet?
Yeah, since July of 2020, we've had $1 million of sales tax revenue come in every month. Before that, it occasionally happened maybe twice a year. I've got some slides. Obviously, this is a radio show, so you can't see the slides. But since July, I mean, you see the numbers go up. And There are not many positives from what came March of 2020. We're about on the 2-year mark of that. But if there is one thing, a lot of people have stayed home in Mount Juliet. They have spent a lot of money. They've done a lot of projects around home. I think G.C. Hickson said something the other day about 48,000 leave Wilson County every day and 28,000 come in. So we're trying to do our best to get a couple more white-collar jobs in Mount Juliet. And instead of everybody living their life in other counties, which we understand that's where some of the great jobs are, we're trying to bring that to Mount Juliet, keep people here. And we think we're going to do that with BJ's as well. Instead of, I've said this before, driving 40 minutes to another county, sitting in their traffic, spending money there at a Costco or Sam's, you got a BJ's now, a wholesale in Mount Juliet, sit in our traffic. I get it if you complain, but it's going to actually save you time, and your money's going to come back to the city that you live in.
Well, don't you anticipate people to the east coming to Mount Juliet? Not I mean Nashville, fine, but I mean people from Lebanon, people from Carthage, Hartsville, wherever. That's going to increase your sales tax.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the last decade from 2010 to 2020, we had 5,000 single family home permits issued. We had 400 residential lots put up last year. So we've got a lot of houses being put up in Mount Juliet to support that infrastructure. I mean, we're at 40 now. Maybe we get to around 50 or 60 in 10 or 15 years. We don't know, but we're going to certainly do our best to grow, but grow at a healthy rate, and also be concerned for the new citizens coming, but especially the people that have always called Mount Juliet home. That's a battle between the two.
Yeah, and that brings up some more costs and some more attention that has to be directed to infrastructure,
right?
Roads and infrastructure, and there's a cost that's associated with that. Now, when you can get those who are doing development to pay for some of that infrastructure, even sometimes some of the roads, I guess the roads inside a subdivision, that sort of thing, that helps, and not make the rest of the people who are already there have to bear that burden.
Absolutely, and that is crucial, and that is what we look for, especially with our bigger businesses, is what kind of impact are you bringing on the community and how you can offset that. 10 years ago, Mount Juliet, that's well before my time, but, if somebody was coming to Mount Juliet, we were glad to have them. We still are today, but we can be a little more choosy than we were 10 years ago as far as what your building looks like, what company you are, and where you're going to be positioned.
And a little more demanding, too.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. But we're in the prime of our 50 years. I mean, we're celebrating our 50th birthday this year. We're in a prime spot as a city. I would say we've done a lot, considering it being our 50th year compared to most cities. We're excited about what the future holds for Mount Juliet.
You have any idea what Mount Juliet looked like 50 years ago?
No clue. I've seen pictures, and
well,
I don't know if I would have driven through it and known that it was Mount Juliet, quite honestly.
If you've seen pictures, you have a pretty good idea. Listen, Watertown used to be a lot bigger than Mount Juliet in my lifetime.
That tells me a little bit.
Well, Watertown has not expanded its city limits a lot, and the population doesn't change all that much. Although the greater Watertown area, we might call it, is growing considerably, and people are moving in. But
what's the population in Watertown? I meet a lot of people from there.
You're putting me on the spot. I'm thinking it's around 1,500 or 1,600.
Okay. Well, I've met 2,000 that say they're from there, so I don't believe that.
They may not be inside the city limits. They haven't expanded the city limits, and I don't know how much you've gotten into this. I know Mount Juliet's expanded a little bit, but you have these growth plans and
right, urban growth boundary and all that.
But I don't know that. Well, at one time it seemed like Lebanon and Mount Juliet were in a game to see which one could expand. Mount Juliet coming east and Lebanon going west, and which one could get there the fastest. And there's a little bit of Lebanon that's past 109, and they may be a little bit of Mount Juliet on this side. I'm not sure. I hadn't looked lately, but
now you put me on the spot.
Don't think that's going on. And for one thing, if you annex an area, then there's certain requirements you're supposed to provide sewer and water, I guess, and the roads become yours and all that sort of thing. There's a lot of responsibility that goes with annexation, and it doesn't all happen at once, but over a period of time, it's going to cost you some money if you haven't got some. If it's not going to help you tax-wise with the property you're annexing, with the tax revenue you get from that, and with a very low property tax rate in Mount Juliet, I'm not so sure annexation's all that advantageous.
It just depends on the circumstance and the situation. I'm learning all that as I go. I know there's certain parts that we want to annex and certain parts that we're trying to figure out. It's all a delicate process and where that homeowner is and whoever owns the land, but we're certainly trying to add.
A lot of times anymore, I think if somebody desires to be annexed, they're given proper due consideration, but if they don't want to be, I don't know that anybody's out here beating a drum to do annexation.
No, it usually happens because both parties want it to happen. From the little that I've seen, I could be totally wrong, but we usually offer a lot of grace in the city of Mount Juliet.
What about traffic? And your bridge down there over the interstate.
The bridge is, I think, supposed to be ready in 3 or 4 months. I think it's around April or May. I thought was when that last lane is going to be done. That can change with COVID all the time. But, all together, we have about 17 projects that we're working on as far as transportation, equaling about $34 million. TDOT does a great job, but if we can offset some of the costs that they would normally pay for and get certain sites shovel ready, that'll move us up, we hope, in the line of different counties and different cities trying to fight for their state roads to be improved, and that's kind of where we're at right now, trying to get a lot of that done so TDOT can come in and just get started right on the work.
Well, I got another question here for you. In your speech today, are you going to say anything at all about Fire Chief Jamie Luffman and the fire department at Mount Juliet?
Well, I should. Now that you mention that, and Jamie's probably listening, I'll politically say yes, I will right here. But he'll never know.
That fire station is coming along, isn't it?
It is. I'll be ready in the early summer. I drove by it the other day. Didn't go up the hill, but it's still looking good. And I'm sure Joey and Jamie are meeting with their contractors a little more often than they were early on in the process. But it's going to be beautiful, and we're trying to furnish it and get the fire apparatus and some grant money for them and everything. They're rocking. They're in a good spot too.
And right there by the new high school.
Yes, sir. Right by Green Hill.
Green Hill,
yes,
which
sir.
Reminds me, Lebanon
beat them.
Coach Jimmy McDowell. It went into overtime, I understand, but Lebanon won the other night.
Yeah, it was on Friday night. I saw on Facebook the basket that forced it into overtime. The kid made a great three-pointer at the buzzer, and then they beat him. And Green Hill's been good. I guess I've slept on Lebanon. I haven't seen them play, but that's a big win for Lebanon. They won the district championship from that?
Maybe.
If I'm not mistaken.
I just saw where they won. I didn't see it, but I heard about it. And I've had Coach McDowell on a time or two. He's, I think, doing a good job and really a fine guy and fine coach. And we appreciate him here. I'm sure y'all appreciate your team down there, but you've got two of them.
We do. We've got an unfair advantage and two great programs, quite honestly, all around the board. Super big schools that are proud of their programs.
Well, Justin, honestly, I've been surprised at Green Hill how well they have taken off. But I guess part of that is when they didn't start out with they had a pretty good enrollment whenever they opened the doors. And so, and probably got some people who had been going to Mount Juliet, and that didn't hurt.
Yeah, they were blessed. It's almost like the expansion draft. You get a couple of picks here and there. Well, they got a ton of good athletes from Mount Juliet, and I know Mount Juliet was sad to see them go, but it's all about what they do in the classroom and trying not to crowd the classroom. So we certainly understand it, but I know from the athletic side that can be a little frustrating. But they're two good teams, and the rivalry, I mean, you would think it's Mount Juliet and Lebanon. I mean, Green Hill and Mount Juliet have a respected rivalry within the city of Mount Juliet, and that always puts a little more butts in the seats.
Yeah, well, we got four really. I mean, when you count Wilson Central, Lebanon, and two in Mount Juliet, four, and they're all doing well.
Fantastic public schools.
In our last minute here, unless you got something more important, knowing that you do like sports.
I was going to ask you this question.
Coming Sunday is the Super Bowl. All right, it's Cincinnati Bengals and the LA Rams. Who's going to win?
I'm rooting for the Bengals. I haven't had them win. I don't even think I had them beating the Raiders. So I could be wrong, but I think the Rams are just too good on both sides of the ball. They have exasperated their salary cap to make sure they have all these guys around. So I think the Rams win in their home stadium. I would not be surprised if the Bengals win just because, as fate would have it, they shouldn't even be here today. And they beat Kansas City. So if they can beat Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes, they can beat the Rams. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, they beat the Titans, and if they can beat the Titans,
that's what I meant to say.
The Titans beat the Rams.
They did. They beat them bad in L.A.
Oh well, we'll see.
So who are you picking? You can't have me picking. You not pick.
I'm picking the Bengals.
Okay, good.
Just to be different.
I would not be mad. That's who I'm rooting for sure. Joe Burrow.
Well, listen, thanks for being with us today. We'll see you in 2 weeks, and there won't be a council meeting after that one either, but we'll talk about something.
We'll make it up. We'll figure it out.
Tell me what happens this next Monday night. How's that?
Yes, sir. That sounds good.
Well,
Thank you.
Thanks so much for being with us today. Justin Beasley, Public Information Officer for the City of Mount Juliet, and our program presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. Stay with us for more here on FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford, low price tire guarantee on all tires every day. Up to 30 days after the sale, there'll be any competitor's pricing on the tires they sell. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic still busy. People staring at earlier wreck on 24 westbound in Harding Place. You got all that traffic flow coming in from Rutherford County, trying to get up through there right now on 24 westbound. That's what we're looking at live. It looks like they're having to pull this thing out of a ditch, and it's causing people to slow down to look at it here on 24 westbound in Harding Place. Building pretty good on Vietnam Vets coming through Hendersonville. Steady flow of traffic I-40 in from Wilson County. Warmer weather's waiting for you right now at Pensacola Beach. It's easy. Just book your next getaway at PensacolaBeach.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Welcome to Hearthside Senior Living, Lebanon's unique senior living community designed for seniors to age in place, all within a safe, comfortable, and Christian environment. Beautiful retirement homes designed for an independent lifestyle with maintenance-free living. Hearthside Senior Living also continues the excellent tradition of assisted living for those seniors who need additional services. Hearthside Senior Living, an independent retirement community and assisted living community, all on one campus in the heart of Lebanon. Call 615-443-1994 for a tour.
71 degrees all the way.
73 degrees, please.
So what's your perfect degree of comfort? We'll help you find it with professional Rheem HVAC service that'll keep your home comfy year-round, save on energy costs, and may qualify for utility rebates and tax credits. So enjoy a new degree of comfort.
72 degrees, and I'm good to go.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
The weather will be fantastic out there today. Skies will be mostly sunny with temperatures climbing into the low 50s. It'll be even warmer on Wednesday with highs in the upper 50s with plenty of sunshine. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty. Professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's Look at Your Forecast. I'm meteorologist T.J. Scott.
And again, a good morning. Welcome to our second half. We call part two. Coleman and Company on a Tuesday morning, and that means we're joined by Sean Dozier, Executive Director of Hearthside Senior Living. He's right here and ready to go this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
And how are you, sir?
Am I on?
You're on.
Okay.
I'm just turning you up a little bit.
Okay.
I regulate. If
you're punching a bunch of buttons, I wanted to make sure I was on.
If you're mumbling, I turn you up.
One thing I wanted to mention before I get started is tomorrow at 7:30. Do you know who's going to be here? I know you don't like to reveal your guests, but John Bryan is going to be here to announce, not that he's running for political office, but that he is. He's got a big announcement coming up.
Yeah.
Tomorrow at 7:30. I just want to encourage everybody, as part of the Kiwanis Club, we've got a big announcement, and they're going to announce it on your show tomorrow at 7:30. He'll be here along with Veronica Anderson and some other guests. So I hope many people will tune in tomorrow at 7:30. As the past president of Kiwanis, I just want to make sure everybody's listening tomorrow at 7:30.
Well, I am glad you did that. But when you said tomorrow at 7:30, I had no idea you were talking about radio. I was thinking tomorrow night at 7:30, and what's going to happen? Okay.
Well, I mean, you only work an hour a day, so I figured you would get it.
Right.
That's getting you back because last week you said I had a cushy job, and I had a resident remind me of that 2 times last week. So
Well,
you got to be careful. You got to be careful what you say on these radio.
Somebody's listening.
Yeah, somebody's listening out there. And second of all, I wanted to mention Saturday night we've got the Valentine's Banquet. The senior Citizen Center has the Valentine's Banquet at the Mill, and a lot of us from Hearthside will be there serving. So I hope to see a lot of people.
So
there.
it's a fundraiser, a great fundraiser.
It is a great fundraiser. Yeah. I don't know if they did it last year, or maybe the last 2 years, but they're going to have it this year, and I'm excited about being there. Teresa has got a lot of volunteers that will be there, and we're bringing a group from Hearthside. So I hope to see a lot of people there, and I hope to get several Hearthside hellos out of that event.
Oh, I'll bet you will. Well, I don't know whether I gave you a proper introduction or not, but we have this saying every once in a while we use when it's time for a helping hand, and that's kind of what your whole mission is all about.
That's right. Assisted living really is a helping hand. We assist with activities of daily living, and our residents are well fed, they get their medication timely, they have good socialization and housekeeping, laundry, all that's included in our price. And people really have enjoyed over the years staying at Hearthside, being part of the Hearthside family. I've enjoyed being a part of the Hearthside family, and we continue to offer our assisted living. We have a few small rooms available, so if you're interested in those units, you can call, or we have people stop by all the time, Coleman, and take a tour. That's what I like the best, is when people honestly just stop by and see what's going on in the community, because it really is a community, and really has a lot of things going on that you might be surprised in an assisted living. A lot of people walk in and say, wow, this is a lot more than I expected. So I hope people will stop by. We are continuing to remodel our facility, and we're about 90% complete. So we look to probably in April or May have an open house so everybody can come in and see it. I'm looking forward to show
COVID permitting.
COVID permitting. Yeah, that's right.
That would be a wonderful.
Maybe they can look in the window and just sort of peer in, but I'm hoping to get everybody in the building and see it, because it really is a nice change.
If you can do that, I think it would just be wonderful. We talk about it, people hear about it, you drive by.
That's right.
But an opportunity to really go see it.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we're continuing to give tours every day. So if you need assisted living now, or you're thinking about it in a couple of months, we're one of the options here in Lebanon that I'd love for you to consider. And then, of course, we have our independent living, which started in 2010, and I gave a tour yesterday to a couple that just said, hey, I just want to be on the list. I just want to be on there just in case, maybe a couple of years from now, one might become available. So people are really taking those to heart, and they love it when they actually see the floor plan and the no steps and all the great features that it has. It's a well laid out house.
Well, for somebody who is going there and not is just retired, but wanting to travel maybe, and to know that it's going to be looked after while they're gone, and the chances of anybody breaking in or doing that sort of thing are much less there than there would be out in the community.
That's right. So we really like to show off those 2 and 3 bedroom homes, and we like to show off our assisted living. It's a great community right there in the heart of Lebanon, and I'm thankful that we have a lot of folks that love Hearthside and continue to keep us where we are.
Well, I think you're even thankful to be the executive director.
I am thankful to be there, even if it's cushy.
It didn't take you long to make a decision to go there.
No, it didn't. I like to say, Heath Thorne asked me to take the position, and I said, well, let me pray about it. Yes, it was that quick. After being in nursing homes for 10 years, I was ready to do something else. So,
are you ready for a Hearthside hello?
Yes, I walked in Hearthside this morning and saw Jerry Stair, and he said, I'm going to be listening to you. So Jerry Stair, a resident, he's just a great man.
Oh, he is.
And
I know
Jerry. He told me that he'd be listening to me today. So I said, Jerry, I'll give you the Hearthside hello today.
Well, let me say hello to him.
Good.
He used to come by when I did insurance. He'd come by the office occasionally, and We had some very nice conversations, and he used to be a really good golfer. I don't know about that.
Well, he doesn't golf anymore, but he still tells great stories and is a
His
great
golf stories.
golf story. Yeah, that's right. But anyway, he loves being at Hearthside, and he just wanted me to give him a shout out.
All right, great. Well, thanks for being with us. I guess we'll do it again next
I'll
year.
see you next week. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Sean Dozier, Executive Director, Hearthside Senior Living, Retirement Assisted Living Community at 215 Castle Heights Avenue North. That phone number, 615-443-1994. We're about 20 and a half minutes before the hour, and I have my guest this morning is Jeff Luttrell, the Director of Schools. He was here last Monday, but we were talking mainly at that time about county purchasing land for some new schools. Today, he's going to be talking about last night's board meeting, I suppose. Jeff, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
You did have a meeting last night, right?
We did, regular scheduled monthly board meeting, and
so you got plenty to talk about.
Well, I do.
You would have anyway.
It was the agenda was less than what it's been past several months, but it was a fun meeting. Beginning the meeting with our special recognitions and presentations, we had some things that were really exciting that we wanted to get out there. One of the first things we did was we recognized one of our principals for Wilson County Principal of the Year, and for this year that is Amanda Smith, principal at Stoner Creek Elementary. She had a large following that her teachers had done a video that we showed, and Stoner Creek Elementary has been through a lot the last several months, and one of the most amazing things and why she was chosen for our representative in Wilson County Principal of the Year was just her leadership, how she has led that faculty, all the community through the tornado. They've got portables. We're in a wing. They're busing kids to the old gym on campus, and there's still construction going on. And with all that going on, of course, Stoner Creek was recognized as a reward school for last school year. So just tremendous leadership that she has shown, and we're excited about her being our Principal of the Year for Wilson County, and she will be moving on to compete for Tennessee Principal of the Year. You never know how that's going to go, but she's very deserving for the work she's done.
Well, sometimes in the when adversity comes, and people can rise above it and deal with it, and apparently she's done an excellent job in doing that.
She really has. When I came on board in July, I was really concerned with everything that school. We were setting up portables. We got part of them in a wing. We were sharing rooms, and I really thought, man, I'll have to be there a lot. But just watching her leadership, that's not been the case. She absolutely has stepped up, and you're right. In times of adversity, that's when great leaders. That's where they're born. Yeah. And she's always been a great leader, but we've really been able to see her expertise in handling situations.
Well, we could compare this to Winston Churchill. I mean, it's the same type of thing in World War II. If it hadn't been for Churchill, I'm not sure England would still be here. And she has in with all the damage that was done and the things it's had to do to keep going, she has done it. And according to you, took it over and pretty much without a lot of. Without you telling her what to do every day.
She has handled her community, and not only handled her community, but has kept student learning at the forefront. To be named a reward school under those circumstances, that tells me the daily focus has been on students and teaching and instruction, and so I just can't think of anyone more deserving of this honor.
Well, congratulations to her. What else?
Well, we followed right up with some news of another celebration for a school, Watertown Elementary. When our scores came out in reward school status early in the fall, we looked at our schools. We had 6 reward schools, and we're proud of those, but Watertown Elementary missed that by 0.1% in a data field. And we spent a whole day at the office trying to figure out, is there something to appeal, and we couldn't find it. The state did let us know about several weeks after they announced those reward schools that there was going to be they were going back and looking at some of their data in some other areas. And we just got word last week that Watertown Elementary was moved to reward school status after that review of some of the data points. So we presented them with their award and made a big deal out of that because we're excited for them. There's been a lot of really good work going out there at Watertown Elementary, and it's good to see these schools be rewarded for what goes on every day. You know, in our business, it's a busy business, and we've got a lot of different angles and things we deal with, but the most important thing is student learning, and that happens with great instruction. And so we brought them in and made an announcement, so we're excited for them as well.
Well, that's great, and with the extra things that COVID has brought to continue to be teaching them, being able to learn under adverse circumstances, that says a lot too, I think.
It does, and I don't know if we've given enough attention to that. You know, last school year was when they would have earned this status. We've got 7 schools that were awarded with being a reward school. And if you remember, that was a year when we were hybrid part of the year, and we were moving in and out. And so the work of those teachers, and you hear some of those stories of teachers actually going home at night and calling kids and families and checking in on them that it was not their day to be at school, just to see if they've got their lessons. And so our teachers have done a tremendous job through all of this. As challenging it is, and it's still challenging, we're still dealing with it, but pretty excited for those schools, and especially to see a school that thought they were so close.
Right. Yeah.
And then to see that, yes, you were a award school. It was very, very, very good night.
Well, that is great. It's time for us to take a break. Jeff Luttrell, Director of Schools, is my guest. We'll talk more in a moment. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank Absolute Kubota, Land Pride, quality tractor implements including cutters, finish mowers, box blades, tillers, and more. 5-year gearbox warranty, extremely durable and well built. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning, T-Dot. One of those help trucks was moving in a 2-car, 3-car wreck, actually, a few minutes ago on 40 westbound at Spence Lane. All that did was aggravate that traffic trying to get past the airport. They're coming through Donaldson and Hermitage on 40 westbound here at Spence Lane. Again, they're moving this crash. It's now starting to pick up through Kingston Springs on 40 East. All that traffic behind it coming in from Dixon County and Hickman County. Warmer weather is waiting for you right now at Pensacola Beach. Book your next getaway at PensacolaBeach.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Cumberland University Phoenix will be in the friendly confines of Woody Hunt Stadium for their home opener this Tuesday, February 8th at 1 o'clock p.m. versus the Union Bulldogs. Come on out for the first home game of the Ryan Hunt era, but if you can't make it to the stadium, you can hear all the action with me, Randy Salas, on play-by-play and Coach Woody Hunt on color commentary online at GoCumberlandAthletics.com. Pre-game begins at 12:40, first pitch 1 o'clock. Go Phoenix!
It's tax time, and Cars Unlimited Tax Service is locally owned and has 33 years of experience in preparing taxes. They advance loans of up to $6,000. They're also an authorized IRS e-file provider. Call 615-449-2955 or stop by 1006 West Main Street in Lebanon. Cars Unlimited Tax Service stands ready to help you prepare your taxes. Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us here on this Tuesday morning. Jeff Luttrell, Director of Schools. Well, let's kind of pick up where we left off, but we had a couple of nice things to talk about there, and I hope the rest is nice, but probably a little bit different.
No, well, we followed right up with that, and want to highlight something. We try to bring in students and showcase some of our students at some of our monthly meetings, and last night we had a great group, Springdale Elementary, their Beta Club, and there was a number of students, their families, and their parents, and they gave us an overview of their Beta Club. Now, this is an elementary school. So one of the first things they did in 2017 when the school opened was establish a Beta Club. And they've been competing and winning on a state and national level. And so each group gave just a brief overview of what their project was. And then they ended their presentation with one of their arts groups that did a skit, a 9 to 5 skit that went all the way and won at the national level. So it was an exciting time for these kids. And again, it's just good. You know, we get caught up. I get caught up a lot in the daily business and the behind the scenes, and really refreshing to see what's going on in our schools.
Well,
so it was really, really good time.
I guess I don't keep up with the times, but back when I was in high school, the Beta Club was only for juniors and seniors in high school. So it's come a long way.
It has, and you know, we have them in our middle schools. And I spoke last night after watching it, just to make a statement. This is one of the things that sets Wilson County Schools apart, is the opportunities that we offer for all of our students. And I think that's critical, because oftentimes you see in education a narrowing of curriculum, so to speak. That's the term we use. But it's deeper than that. It's narrowing opportunities. And these kids are getting a chance to develop leadership skills, speaking skills, life skills. And that's important. We're doing that all over the county and all of our schools. And just need to keep that in the forefront as we handle what we need for our schools. These things that we do that are besides the math and English and the reading and the writing are critical in developing citizens. So they did a great job, and I think everybody enjoyed it, and it was a good way to kick off the meeting.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what did the school board any business you conducted or anything we need to talk about there last
Well,
night?
it was the agenda was not as heavy as it's been in the past, but I guess probably one of the things I want to mention that our board is addressing with some COVID leave. And back, I don't know, I guess October the 4th meeting, we got into this year and COVID began to increase and impact our students and our teachers. And at the October meeting, our board voted to give our employees an additional 10 days of COVID leave. But we did not make it retroactive at that time. Well, what's since happened, COVID still has continued to rise. And so we've been talking the last couple of months about the possibility of backing that up and making it retroactive back to July 1, because what happened, we had some employees that teachers, some of our EAs or our bus drivers, they got COVID during that July to October 4th time and didn't have any days and used all their days. And, you know, we're even seeing some people getting COVID for the second time. So they're out of days because they've used their days. So it's a process, but they did make a move last night. We've going to really go deeper. HR will go into and reach out to employees and let them give them, did you have COVID days? We're trying to get a dollar figure and narrow it down on what it would do to our budget, but I expect next month that will come back and they'll have an opportunity to possibly go back and add that for those employees.
So I take it that having COVID and not being there on the job has affected their paycheck, their pocketbook.
It could have in some situations, yes, and they've used their days. So now if they get sick, so it's just, we want to value our employees. And I think the board is committed to, we really want to take care of our employees. And this is one way, but it is a process because we've got to understand and realize what's the budget implications of doing that. So that was passed last night, and I think that's a good move. And I think that something will happen with that at next month's meeting.
Okay. All right. What else?
Next thing, really, we are in open zoning or open enrollment period, and you know the state law passed that says that every district must have an open enrollment period and time for kids to give parents a choice to take their kid to another school than what they're zoned for. And so we're right in the middle of that. But one of the things that we realized, we had to make a clarification on siblings. If you have a student that is already in a school out of zone. So we got into that and we worked on that policy a little bit last night and clarified whether if a school has the room, there will be a possibility for those siblings to automatically be accepted because that choice has been made by the family. So that took pretty lengthy part of the meeting because of the fact that you know how state statutes are when you get into them and what's the implications. So we worked through that, and I feel good about that going forward.
Was there much disagreement among the board members on that? A lot of discussion? Or?
There was a lot of discussion. There was, I don't think, disagreement. Everything passed last night 6-0, and that's a great sign in this time to see a board come to consensus. Now, they have discussions, and they're doing good work. But there was a lot of discussion because we've never dealt with this open enrollment the way the law reads now, where it's got to be by grade level. And it's a complicated, convoluted process, but there was a lot of great discussion. So I think we cleaned that up, and that will help us moving forward. And then finally, in some new business, the board on first reading did look at one of our policies, policy 5.6. 00 is dealing with dress code, student or teacher dress code, not student dress code, but teacher dress code. And I think some teachers had reached out to some board members, and over time, looking at ways to assist our teachers and our staff in the job they're doing. And believe it or not, one of the issues, what came up was colored denim and all these things. So the board just took jeans out of the policy that now will be allowed. That passed on first reading, and they'll be looking to pass that second reading. And you know,
is it that controversial?
I think a lot of teachers, the way the policy was written, blue jeans were not allowed. Now principals use motivation. A lot of times you go into school on Friday and it's jean day. I used to get accused. My secretary used to remind me, you need to allow them to have a jean day. So it just, I think in listening to the board members and listening to our teachers, you know, I'm not very much on fashion. I believe in professional dress, but I do think that you can wear blue jeans and be professional. So they just struck it from the policy, and I think there will be happy teachers with that. And so they'll be looking at that on second reading. I think the important thing to note about that is we are in tune to what our teachers need and listening to our teachers. And the stress level of education in the last 2 years has been tremendous, Coleman. And you know, we're seeing more educators leave our profession, not just here in Wilson County, but nationwide. We're seeing less young people go into the profession. What once used to be one of the most highly sought professions in our society was to be a local school teacher. And we're just not seeing the numbers of people entering into the profession. So, and in talking to some of our younger teachers, you know, and I've watched this for the last 4 or 5 years as things change and trend in the business world. You know, now one of the things that's come up, companies are allowing people to work from home. So, of course, we can't do that. We need our teachers with our students. But I think you're seeing a move from educators and administrators to how are we going to adjust some things to try to attract these good people into our profession as well. So to me, that's one of the things that it was. And you know, these are things that we'll have to continue to look at because we need teachers, and we are seeing some data from a local level, even a national level, state as well, that we're not getting the number of applicants and people into the education profession that we need.
Well, let me throw out something else. I've talked to our legislators a little bit about this. They're kind of revamping, maybe redoing the way schools are funded, and I'm sure you've got your eye on that, paying attention to it. I wondered about any comments you have about what the discussion's been.
Well, I've watched this thing, and I'm still at the same place. You know, I've seen some numbers out there, but I'm in a position that I'm going to say that regardless of how you fund it, we've got to have more funding. The pie's got to be larger. You can't keep cutting it up the same amount of money. There seems to be a commitment for that, but you know, I made a statement in a public meeting about this very thing. Is, you know, we're a fast-growing area.
Yeah,
and that's got to be taken into consideration. But we need help right now. You know, one of the things I'm hearing could be 23, 24 before some of that money comes down the pike. we need help right now with funding. And so I'm glad to see that our governor's looking at it. I think there's some good ideas on the table, but until I get really numbers and a formula, it's going to be hard for me to determine, is this what we need or not? And they're moving at a real fast pace, looks like. So I think we'll have that here in just a few weeks, I hope, and give us a better. But I will tell you that we do need more funding, and that's what I'm looking at. Our state seems to be committed. I hope so, but we are in a need for more funding for education purposes.
All right, we'll end this morning. I'll just mention that basketball game the other night was on television, and our Lebanon Blue Devils did manage to win it in overtime. I mentioned that earlier with our Mount Juliet rep here, but
yeah, it was an exciting game. I caught the tail end of it on the TV. That's a great option you have when I got in. It was an exciting ball game, and I think you're going to see those two teams make runs deep into the tournament.
Well, basketball is in high school here is very much alive in Wilson County. We've got some great boys and girls teams, and tournament time is right upon us, I believe.
It is. Be here in just a few weeks.
Well, Jeff, thanks for being with us today. We'll see you next month.
Thank you.
Jeff Luttrell, Director of Schools for Wilson County. That's it for a Tuesday. Hope you'll join us tomorrow, and until then, I wish you a terrific day.